Welcome, and thank you for joining with us today. My name is Christopher Gruener. I'm on the board of directors of the Global Village Children's Project, a 501c3 not-for-profit organization. I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Anne Muyanga, who over the past 20 years has worked miracles in Uganda that she's going to tell us all about. Before we begin our conversation, I do want to give a special thanks to the NewCity Church for hosting us here in this space, and particularly for Reverend Devlin Scott, who is running the technology that makes our conversation with you possible. So thank you. Anne, can you tell us a little bit about how you founded the Global Village? How did it come to be?
Thank you, Christopher, for being here with me, and thank you, Reverend Scott, for hosting us and taking care of all the technology. Global Village Children's Project began as a grassroots organization to help pay tuition, scholastic materials for children orphaned by primarily AIDS. About 30-something years ago, I lost my brother and his wife. They died within a day of each other to AIDS. They left behind two little girls. They were toddlers, actually. And it fell upon me to raise these two little girls. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do because I was just a young adult myself, but it was the most rewarding. So at the end of it, I thought, what happens to the other girls that have nobody to take care of them? Because as you may be aware, that AIDS at its peak had killed all the able-bodied people in many villages. And so you found child-run homes. So about 20 years ago, it'll be 20 years ago this year, 2004, we founded the Global Village Children's Project with the aim of helping those children that had nobody to care for them. We would pay for their tuition and scholastic materials. We became their friends. We mentored them. We were counselors. We are counselors. And it's been such a rewarding journey because we have, up to this point, 6 girls that have graduated from university.
So Anne, it's my understanding that in addition to tuition and scholastic materials, the Global Village Children's Project has also cared for the entire spectrum of needs for the young people who you've taken under your wing. Is that correct?
That's correct. Not only do we give them funding for school, scholastic materials, we give them health care, nutritious food, and we teach them to exercise. We teach them about environmental awareness, and the children that need a place of respite can come and live with us for some time, and just kind of calm things down. And we talk to them. We are their friend. They know that, and I think we've done it very differently, and the kids are appreciative. We don't just just throw out money to them to go to school. We make sure that we holistically take care of their being.
So a number of the young people have actually lived with you for an extended period of time if there was no relative or family member who would be able to take them in. Is that correct?
That's correct. But even the ones that have family members that would kind of take care of them would prefer to live with us because definitely life is better. We have 3 to 4 meals a day, where many of them can't afford 2 meals, or at least not 2 square meals. So you find that kids will come and you think they've come for a short period of time, but they just stay. And, we don't ask questions. We just welcome them.
Speaking of providing a number of square meals every day, Am I correct that you have done quite a bit of farming that has helped not only provide good nutrition for the young people under your care, but also has been generously shared with people throughout the community who are in need? I think that that's what that slide is all about on the screen at the moment. Is that correct?
That's correct. One of the things we teach our children is to grow food. If they're going to have healthy meals, they should learn to grow food. As you may be aware, that Uganda is mostly an agricultural country. So one is cheaper for us if we grow our own food, but also it's more nutritious. When we have more than enough, like we did during COVID, we were so blessed with so much food that we shared with our neighbors, especially the elderly. So the kids are aware that they have to share with the community, and we're so proud of them growing up knowing that.
So that's the agricultural land that I'm looking at on the screen, and those are some of your kids and some of the people from the community working the farm space?
Yes, most of those are our children. And then we have some of the people in the place where we grow the food, because the food is grown about 15 miles from where we live. So we have some people helping us out there, but the kids also go in and they know how to grow the food and how to take care of the plants. And they go and harvest. We all go and harvest the food and bring it back home.
So, Anne, we've just been through a very difficult time of the COVID pandemic, which of course left even more young people orphaned. And I believe that the slide you're showing here has to do with working in the farmland during the time of COVID. Is that correct?
That's correct. We were very fortunate that we had a place for the kids to decompress, I must say, during COVID, because it was a very tough time for all of us. Because we have a truck, trucks were allowed to move. So I could just pile the kids on and we would go into the garden and would spend our days there. So it was a way for them to spend their time productively, but also not be so anxious about that period. And then, like I said, we got so much food that we would harvest it, bring it back, and share with our neighbors, who are so grateful up to this point.
Now, I don't believe we have today on the screen, to put on the screen a picture of our truck, but am I correct that a generous donor did provide a farm vehicle for us, which has made the difference as far as getting out to the fields, working in the fields, harvesting the crops and bringing them back?
Oh yes, the truck was a godsend, and especially during COVID, you know, that we couldn't be just stuck in the house. You know, we could go out and grow the food and harvest the food, and we're so grateful to our donors.
And I know from conversations with you that community service is a very important value for you to teach the children. Could you say a little bit about how you've gone about doing that?
Yes, apart from the kids distributing the food to the neighbors, we also are taking care of the environment. As you may know, lots of trees have been cut down to be used for firewood or for building. So in our village of Muyanga, we are planting trees. So the kids are actually doing that, and they're excited about that project. We do it every end of year before they go back to school to another class, after every promotional term, which is the third term. So it's really nice for them to know how to care for the environment and how to respect the environment.
So what we saw there was a wheelbarrow full of saplings, and in the second slide, the young people are doing the planting.
Absolutely,
yeah,
yes. And
great.
before we plant, we go through the neighborhood, asking the neighbors what they may want. So you see that wheelbarrow has fruit trees. We have orange trees, we have mango trees, we have avocado trees, and then we have a few just hardwood trees. So whoever asked for, that's what we planned for them. We don't want to impose on them what we think would be good to plant in the village. So whatever they ask for is what we get and plant for them. We tell them, we will never come and eat fruit from these trees, but we would like you to enjoy the fruit and take care of the environment like the children are trying to do.
So Anne, a number of the young people that you have cared for, you started with when they were very, very young and cared for them all the way through to independence. Can you just say a few words about that process? I see on the screen there, I bet those are the same kids on one side of the screen and all grown up on the other side. Is that right?
Yes, they are. They are our pride and joy. They are the youngest so far. The girl was born several months after the father died. The boy was about a year and a half when the father died. And I'm so glad to say that they are thriving. They are studying very well. And as you can see, the other picture is them grown up now. They're in high school. The boy is 14, the girl is 12 and a half. And they are the best kids you can ask for. So we are grateful, especially to our donors that have made sure that these kids go to school uninterrupted. Christopher, I cannot thank you enough. You have been with us through thick and thin, but you've made sure that these kids go to school, and we appreciate you. They appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. Our friendship has grown over 20 years, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that you provided me to be of service to this organization. I am correct that not only are those young people there shown in high school after originally being seen here as the little children who came to you, but a number of other young people have already gone beyond high school to college, to trade school. Can you say just a little bit about that?
Oh, yes. As I said, when we initially started Global Village, it was to help the girl child. But then we realized that we needed to help the boy child as well, because an orphan is an orphan. So because we initially started with the girls, we have 6 girls that have graduated from university. They're the first ones in their families and some in their clan to graduate from university. I'm happy to say that they're all self-reliant. They're doing different things, and they're happy people, very happy people. And they know that they owe something to the community. So we can't wait to see what they do, because they're so grateful for the chance given to them by the Global Village. We have the first boy going to university in August, and he couldn't be more excited that he's been given that chance. So yes, when we take on a child, like I've said before, we make sure that they go to all the way through university and are self-sufficient, so that they can do good in the world, in their communities, in Uganda and the world at large. And that's why we call this Global Village, because AIDS had decimated the village as we knew it. They say it takes a village to raise a child. There was no village anymore. So we decided to create a global village to take care of these children. And the Global Village has been fantastic.
It's great that you've taken on some boys as well, but it's also understandable that the emphasis largely throughout has been for the care of girls. The girls are all the more vulnerable than the boys may have been when they're on the streets on their own, trying to fend for themselves. So it's just amazing the work that you've done. You're a spiritual role model for all of us, and I'm very, very grateful to have had a part in this process with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much, Anne, for telling the story of the Global Village Children's Project. Now I'd just like to say a word or two about the support that we need to continue this work. There are two ways in which one could support us financially. One is simply by going to the website where you'll see a donate button, follow the prompts, and you'll have an opportunity to pay either through your bank account or through your credit card. Or you can send a check and save us the processing fees. You can send that check directly to me, Christopher Gruener, care of the Global Village Children's Project at 85 Floral Street in Newton Highlands, Massachusetts 02461. We are particularly eager to find people who would be willing to support us on a monthly basis so that we can have confidence about the funding that will undergird the services that we're offering to these young people. Thank you.